Who are you identifying with? Who is the person that you are being every single day? And then you want to look at, is the person that you're being every single day and the identity that you currently have for yourself serving yourself? A lot of us have created an identity based on our societal programmings, or what our parents told us when we were younger, or what school told us, or where we found ourselves in the dead-end job that we've been working in for 5 years because we never asked for more, or we didn't ask for a raise, or we didn't know what we wanted to do, so we just kept doing the same thing over and over again. This keeps us stuck like the hamster on the wheel. And that's what I want everyone to do, to be able to realize they can stop being that hamster and you can create the life that you want to live. But it really is going to come down to who you identify with. Your identity creates your beliefs, it creates your actions, it creates what you allow yourself to dream is possible, and it ultimately is going to allow you to manifest and what you can manifest. So here's the difference, right? If you identify with as someone who is working in a 9-to-5 corporate career, who relies on a biweekly paycheck, who is just a cog in the wheel, then you're not going to dream big. You're not going to allow yourself to become an entrepreneur, or not a successful entrepreneur, because you're still identifying as someone that's working a corporate 9-to-5. And someone that's working a corporate 9-to-5 doesn't get to work for themselves. They don't get to have any say in the business that they're working in, or they have a little bit of say, but it's all going towards someone else, and it's not helping you. It's not helping you on obtaining financial freedom, which is ideally what we're all looking for, right? Money doesn't actually give us freedom, but the idea of money allows us to have freedom. When you have more money in your life, you get to say no to things that you don't want to do. When you have more money in your life, you get to say yes to the things that you do want to do. When you have more money in your life, you don't have to look at the cost of something before investing in it. If it lights you up, then you get to go for it. But somebody in a corporate 9-to-5 would never even think that, because they would be like, well, I make this much every 2 weeks, which means I make this much every 4 weeks, which means I make this much in a year. So I have to budget, and I have to sacrifice. Now, if you have the identity of an abundant, wealthy, successful entrepreneur, then you're not going to allow yourself to show up every single day slaving away at a job that doesn't personally benefit you. You're going to be investing in yourself through personal development. You're going to be creating a morning routine that works for yourself. You're also going to have a nightly routine that works for yourself. You're not going to drink every single day. You're not going to, first thing when you wake up, turn on the television, and then the last thing you do at night, turn off the television. You will be anxious, depressed, and miserable if you continually do these things. And you'll also feel like you haven't made any progress in your life. Someone that doesn't see themselves as successful will continue to do this over and over again because they don't think that they deserve more. Now, when you hear people talk about quantum leaping in manifestation, those are people that are identifying with the person that they want to be and realizing that if they want to be this person in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, however long they want to be this person, if you start being that person now, if you start aligning your actions with what that person would be doing, embodying the life that that person has, showing up the way that that person has, you are continuing to raise your vibration. And when you raise your vibration, you raise your frequency, you raise your energy, and that allows you to manifest at a different level. And it also allows you to want and manifest different things that if you were down here, you wouldn't even think were possible. Because remember, what you believe is what manifests in your life. If you don't believe that you can have something, if you don't believe that you're worthy of having something, you're never even going to attempt to manifest it, or your manifestations will never come true. And then after a certain amount of time, you're just going to say this manifestation stuff doesn't work. And you're just going to give up and be self-defeated. But it's not that you can just wake up one day as a miserable person in a 9 to 5 being broke and saying, I'm going to manifest a mansion. That's not how it works. If you're going to tell yourself you're going to manifest a mansion, but you are living in an apartment right now and you're barely paying rent, then you don't believe that you can live in a mansion. So of course you're not going to be able to manifest a mansion. That's why people believe they can win the lottery so that they can get these big things. It's their belief that the lottery can give them that much money that allows them to keep playing the lottery, even though the lottery is just keeping these people stuck and small and powerless. Instead of spending their time on creating a life that they want to create, they're spending their time and their money wasting away at the hopes that some lotto is going to save them. And that's also why, what is it, like 80% of the people that win the lotto don't actually stay rich their whole lives. They end up going broken in debt so quickly. Why? Because they don't feel worthy of having that money. It's all related, okay? What you identify with, who you identify with, is going to show up every single day. So if you've ever been in that situation where you're like, oh my God, an entire year has passed. What happened? I feel like I did nothing. That's because you didn't identify as a successful person. You didn't identify as a goal-oriented person. You didn't even question who you were identifying with. You showed up the same way, thinking the same things, speaking the same things every single day. So it was basically like you were in a terrible version of Groundhog Day, but your own life then becomes a Groundhog's Day because you're not challenging yourself for more. The universe can only give you what you are asking for and what you are a vibrational match for. So this was so transformative. When I found this out, I was like, oh my God, you're so right. I have been identifying with a public servant. I've been identifying as someone who gets a bi-weekly paycheck. I've been identifying as someone who has to pick and choose what they can invest in themselves because they don't have unlimited resource and unlimited time. I created an identity where I had just enough. I always had just enough. I never had more than enough. And the moment that I realized that I had created an identity where I had just enough, that's when I was allowed to decide, fuck that. I don't want to have just enough. I want to have more than enough. I want to have an abundance of money, an abundance of love, an abundance of freedom, an abundance of independence, an abundance of passion. Abundance isn't about money. It is the natural state of the universe. You are supposed to have more than enough and have all of your needs met at every single time. The problem is society doesn't teach you that. Society, your parents, the school system, the media, the news, they teach you the exact opposite. They teach you to focus on what you don't want and then tell you to just accept it, and that's life when you keep getting the things that you don't want. They don't tell you that what you focus on is where your attention, your energy, and then your vibration and frequency go, and then that's the reality that you experience.